This is really overrated. Nutella is very average. It's not that great. Anyway, we're not here to talk about the we're not here to talk about the Nutella. We're here to talk about my personality type. And turns out I'm not an INTP. Woo, shocker. Well, it really was kind of because no one commented or no one told me that, hey, you're not an INTP. I kind of noticed it, and it was just, over periods of time I've observed, and first I doubted myself, because I was like, am I an INTP or am I an INFP? Because I bet you guys are I bet you guys want to know what's my personality type, but I'll make you, create the suspense. Okay, so first, when I took the MBTI test, the 16 personality test, I was an INFP. I was like, yeah, that's kind of accurate, but it's not particularly accurate. I don't care about people as much as they say, on their, I need to charge my laptop. But I'm just not that, I'm just not that people oriented. So I let that be. I was like, okay, I'm an INFP. Cool, dog, what up? And then I think in 8-9 months, I took the test again, and I was an INTP. I was like, this does resonate more with me than the other personality types. But the one thing about INTP was you're super introverted, and I am quite introverted, but I'm not that introverted. So I was like, okay, INFP, I get it. And then lately I've just been I know what? So lately I've been going more into the cognitive functions, rather than, just the 16 personalities test. And they said, so I went to, there's a channel called Talking with Famous People, and I was looking it up, and I was reading more about ENTPs, and I was ENTPs, and we're really similar. I was I'm sure ENTPs and INTPs are really similar, because I resonate with both of them a lot. And now I'm going to get a little bit into the cognitive functions. So for an INTP, the first cognitive function was TI, and then you've got NE, I think. And for an ENTP, it's NE and then TI. And although I do consider myself quite logical, I am not as logical as per se a true TI function. My most dominant function isn't my logic, and that's something that I know. So I was you know what, you're probably an INTP, you're just speaking out about it. And I've seen so many INTP videos, right? So I'm I resonate with it. Oh wait, I don't know if I said this. I am an ENTP, not an INTP. Very anticlimactic way of stating it, but yeah. So I went on this channel, to this channel, which is called Talking with Famous People, and I was I don't know my type. It's host Eric. That's the guy who owns the channel. His name's Eric, and he has this a group chat kind of thing, which I entered today morning, and I was just going through it, and I was talking to people, and they were asking me all sorts of questions. I was oh, this is my answer, this is my answer, and they're oh, you're definitely not an INFP, you're an INTP compared to, because I said I'm not sure if I'm an INFP or an INTP, and then I said, well, the truth is I know I'm an NTP. I'm curious about the fact that am I quite maybe an ENTP, because again I've been lately learning a little more about cognitive functions, and then they're well, it didn't really go on a lot about that. We started talking about other stuff and got distracted. But yeah, so then I was classified as ex-NTP over there, and then they said that, hey, you know what? Something that you should try doing is not going to the MBTI website, or not the 16 personalities website. It's more of the Carl Jung website. Carl Jung website. What am I saying? No, it's more cognitive function based website. And when I took the test, it said I'm either an ENTP or an ENFP, and I knew that I was an NTP because that had been like established by all those typologists. One of who was 75 years old. I was not expecting that, but yeah. And so to conclude, if you logically, or even not illogically, if you just, put these two together, which is which, God, my hands are shaking so much because of like the shopping bag were really heavy. Anyway, so at the end of the day, what was I saying? I completely lost my stream of thought. But yeah, so if you join them, I'm definitely an NTP, and the test said that I'm either an ENTP or an ENFP, and I'm not an ENFP, so that brings me to the conclusion of being an ENTP. And ENTPs are not particularly very, it's not that, again, I think it's more cognitive functions based rather than how, the MBTI website tells you, or not MBTI, 16 personalities website tells you. So it's not that I am going to be now suddenly extremely extroverted, but I did realize that when I thought that I was an INTP, I used to I didn't have an issue with joking, or I could start conversations still. So it wasn't very typical INTP, so that was just something that I thought was odd about being an INTP, but I was like, I'm just a different INTP, but turns out I'm not. And yeah, so that's great and cool. So established, I'm not an INTP, I'm an ENTP, which is okay. And as for my other videos, I think I'm still gonna keep them the same as they are, because clearly almost everyone watching my videos is an INTP. But I think to a very large extent you can resonate with the ENTP side of me, because you've been watching all my videos where I've been talking about my experience, and they're very similar to an experience of an INTP. So I guess that definitely, is it's a thing. Not it's a thing, it's just I'm gonna keep them as INTP because, again, the other INTPs could relate to it, so I'm assuming that other INTPs will too. Did I say I was an ENFP? No, I said I was an ENTP. Okay, cool. I'll enjoy this very overrated food now. And every day you learn something new. ENTP, guys. I'm an ENTP. But keep watching my videos. I know many of you are INTPs, and regardless, again, you don't have to keep watching my videos, only if you want to. So yeah, just thought I would not like to, kind of keep this in denial. I wouldn't want to constantly continue being, hey, I'm Noor, your local INTP. So yeah, that's that. And cool.